Series 1, The Patriarchs, Foundations of the Promise. Part 4, Hagar and Ishmael, The Peril of Impatience. Genesis 16, 1-4, 11, 12. KJV. Now Sarai Abram's wife bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid, it may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. 3. And Sarai Abram's wife took Hagar her maid the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. The story of Hagar and Ishmael shows the danger of forcing God's promises by human effort. Sarai, barren and impatient, urged Abram to take her maid Hagar as a surrogate. Abram agreed, and Ishmael was born. Though reasonable in human eyes, this was not God's plan. It created strife between Sarai and Hagar, division in Abraham's household, and conflict that carried into generations. Here the contrast between faith and flesh is clear. God had already promised Abraham a son, but waiting tested their patience. Instead of trusting his timing, they acted on their own, and the result was trouble. When we try to help God, we often create burdens that linger far beyond what we imagine. Yet God's mercy shines. He met Hagar in the wilderness, promising to bless her son and naming him Ishmael, meaning, God hears. Still, the covenant promise was reserved for Isaac, the child of faith, not Ishmael, the child of striving. Paul later uses this account in Galatians 4. Ishmael represents bondage under law, while Isaac represents freedom through promise. The lesson is timeless. God's promises cannot be fulfilled through fleshly schemes, but only through His Spirit. For us, the warning is sobering. Impatience with God's timing can lead to compromise and spiritual Ishmaels, solutions born of self rather than faith. But the call remains, wait on the Lord. As Isaiah 40:31 declares, They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. True blessing comes when we trust His perfect timing and rest in His faithfulness.